Good morning, day 31. Just leaving the shelter behind me. I don't think you can see it. Nice night. Today should be good as well, but the weather for Friday and Saturday is not looking so good. Plan for today is to push as many miles as I can to get as close to Irwin for an easy walking in on Friday morning. We've got a descent down into Sam's Gap, and then we go up over Big Bald and Little Bald, and then we'll see how I'm feeling. Anyway, first climb. It's a beautiful morning. I just want to give a shout out to Kate. Happy birthday. Dan sends his love. Have a good day. Coming down to Sam's Gap, and as always I've been hearing the noise for a very long time before I even get here. And like an idiot, I didn't get rid of all my trash at the last hostel. I don't know what I was thinking, but I hear that there are trash cans down at the Gap, so I'll definitely be getting rid of it now. So you come out onto this road and the AT goes down there and under the bridge. But I believe there's a little cemetery up there. I was always going to go up and have a look, so let's see. Yeah, here we are. Seems an odd place for a cemetery. There's no houses around here, and it's right next to this busy road. Right, back down again. Let's get rid of this trash. Woo! We turn left here, and there's a white blaze over there. Let's see if we can find the trash. Sam's Gap, we've got some trail magic. This is John and Lisa, thank you very much. They're the parents of another hiker. We've also got B&B here. Hi guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi there. Bed and breakfast here.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice, just leaving Sam's Gap. Just had a Gatorade and some homemade cookies. Very nice. Now we're making our way back out, and this is really the start of the climb for the day. So we've got a few hours of up, but it's still a relatively cool, clear morning. And you can see we've just popped back into North Carolina for a while because there's the sign for Tennessee up ahead. Passed through Sam's Gap. I want to say hi to my niece and nephew, Sam and Ellie. Sorry Ellie, I don't think there's anything named after you out here. You have to make do with just a shout out. Just got to the top of the first little climb out of Sam's Gap, and here's our first decent view of Big Bald that I'll be going up over the next couple of hours. But of course we'll go down a bit first. I don't know if you can see, there's the bull up there, but coming across the ridge line, there's all houses all the way along that ridge line. You can see some of the roofs shining. This is a very pretty approach to Big Bald. Getting close to the top of Big Bald. What have we here? Oh, please don't be empty. Oh yes. Let's have a look. Oh, disappointing. The can of drink in there was empty. There were some hard-boiled eggs with some salt and pepper. I'm not really feeling that right now. Oh well. There's a good view of Big Bald. It's still just over a mile away and another 500 feet of elevation, and we go this way. It's getting tough as we get nearer to the top. Oh, made it to the top. It took 2.5 hours from when I first showed you that the first view of Big Bald. There's this mountain community. There's all sorts of houses down there. It's looking back at the Smokies. It's looking east. There's only hikers up here. Might be having lunch. It's looking back across to Tennessee. And we're 5,500 feet. This is unusual on the AT. The trail goes down that way, but then curves round, and over there is Little Bald, and you can see the trail going up the hill, and just near the top you can see some hikers going up as well. It's not often you can see that far ahead. And then there's a town over there. I wonder if that's Irwin. Could be. So this is cool. The peak we climbed up coming out of Hot Springs that I said didn't have a name, and we skirted the top because it was full of comms towers, is just there. So interesting to look back that far. Leaving Big Bald, just had a great lunch up there. Nice thing about getting into town tomorrow is there's no limit on what I can eat. So I had a double lunch, 2 pepperoni and cheese wraps, had loads of Cheetos, had some chocolate. So yeah, I'm feeling full and ready to go again. And it is absolutely beautiful up here. And my plan for the day has changed somewhat. I was going to get up early, leave camp, push some big miles, get into Irwin early tomorrow morning for a Nero. I didn't really leave camp as early as I'd hoped. There was a young couple next to me who'd got their food bags caught in the tree with their bear hang, and we spent a good half an hour trying to climb the tree to release everything. So that took a bit of time, and then my Achilles have been playing up a bit today, especially on the right side. Coming up Big Bald was slow, really slow. So I'm not really making the speed I was hoping. So I think I've resigned myself to the fact that I'm not going to get into Irwin until tomorrow afternoon, and so I'm going to make it a 0 tomorrow. I'll stay in Irwin for 2 nights, rest up my foot because it needs it. I'll be able to eat more, which I also need to do, and just relax a bit. When I started this hike, I'd hoped that I timed it right so that I could hike into Damascus for trail days, but that starts next Friday, and I don't think I'm going to be able to push it to make it there. So what I'm going to do is get as close as I can. There's a hostel maybe 2 days out that maybe I'll stay at, and then get a shuttle up to do trail days, then come back to where I left off, and then hike into Damascus 2 days later when it's empty again, which might be interesting because I'll see it absolutely rammed for trail days, and then I'll see it a few days later when it's all quiet. So ever-changing plans, but that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Ooh, that's a bit steep. I'll get back to you soon. So I guess I should talk a little bit about trail days. I've mentioned it a few times on the channel, but I've not really said what Trail Days is. So the first town you hit after the Virginian border is Damascus, and they absolutely pride themselves on being the trail town on the Appalachian Trail. So much so that middle of May every year they hold a 3-day carnival effectively for hikers. As many hikers from that year as possible try and make it either forward to Damascus or back to Damascus, but also they have hikers from previous years, and it runs for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next weekend, 13th, 14th, 15th of May. And on Saturday they close the whole town down, and we have a hiker parade that runs through the centre where all the locals spray the hikers with water because we're dirty hikers, of course. There's fields on the outskirts that are set up as tent city. A lot of vendors come, set up stalls, there's pop-up bars and restaurants, and basically it's just one big party, and an enormous amount of beer gets consumed for 3 days. So I would say that's Trail Days in a nutshell. And like I say, it was always within my plans to be there. I had hoped of hiking, but actually I think this is going to work out better. If I stop at a hostel beforehand, I can get laundry done, showered, then get shuttled up to Trail Days for 3 days, and then I can come back to the hostel and have another shower and laundry session before I hit the trail again. So I think that would work quite well if I can organise it properly. Just made it to Bald Mountain Shelter. I'm not going to stay there. I've just had lunch. I've got enough water. There's water coming up, so I'm going to carry on. Apparently I read the map wrong, and this we're just about to climb is Little Bald and not the open area that I said earlier. Here's a better view. This is High Rocks. Oh, check out this blaze. Looks like it was just painted this morning. Just made it down to Spivvy Gap. That's quite a bridge. So there's the trail magic. What a fantastic surprise at the end of the day. I've had myself a Dr. Pepper, I've got a Gatorade for later, I've got some extra Pop-Tarts for the mornings for a big breakfast, I've got some chicken to go with my mashed potatoes for later, and I've got a few other extra little pieces, some little buns. So I'm gonna have a feast tonight. That's brilliant. Right, just got one medium-sized climb to do, and then I'm hoping I'll be able to find a camp spot up on this hill. And I've also had some good news. Apparently the weather for tomorrow is significantly improved. They were calling for rain sometime in the morning. Now the forecast is saying more like late afternoon, so I'll be in the hostel by then, so that's great. Right, I'll let you know when I get to the top of this. Just got to a campsite for the night. This is the trail right in front of me, disappearing into the bushes there. There's a little sitting area, and then there's space for 1, 2, 3 maybe tents. I'm going to set up just here. It's 5:45 at night, so it's about time to stop. So here's my setup. Quite nice. Wrap up for day 31. Really pleased today. even with a late start, I've still done my longest day in 18 miles. 2 lots of trail magic didn't hurt, that's for sure. So I've left myself 9 miles to get into Irwin tomorrow. So I'm gonna have some lunch. I'll say good night. Cheers.